So to just give a smaller introduction of who I am, my name is Carrie Clinton. I'm a corporate recruiter for Universal Property and Casualty Insurance Company. As a corporate recruiter, I look for folks who need a job. It could be someone that is fresh out of high school, maybe didn't get into college or the college that they want, or maybe they still need a job. And I'll hire you if you're 18 years old, have a high school diploma, and at least start you off at $18 an hour, full benefits, the ability to go back to college for $5,000 each year, and also allow you to work remotely from home. So that's customer service. Now let's say you like the computer, you like technology, you like playing video games. So maybe you can still stay at home and play video games and make money from it if you're really good. Or I can hire you as an IT consultant where if someone like me at home working forget their password, I can call you up and say, hey, can you help me reset my password on my phone or on my computer or on my tablet or any device that my company gives me, right? That kind of a job starts off at $45,000 a year. You don't need a degree, you don't need a certification, because at our company, we'll send you to the classes that you might need to get the certifications that you need. Let's say you want to be a lawyer, but you can't afford to go to Howard University, or you can't afford to go to, those colleges that are just way out of our budget. Our company will hire you as well. We might start you off as an administrative assistant and teach you how to find documents within the courthouse, teach you how to respond to an email properly. And you can work your way up from an admin assistant starting off at $22 an hour to a paralegal who gets about $36 an hour, to even going to get your law degree if you do get that. And that, I just hired someone yesterday, and that person is fresh out of college with a law degree, and that person is making $135,000 a year to start. So to say you must go to college and you must get your degree and then you get a good paying job, sometimes it's not that easy, because when I see resumes, I don't see experiences sometimes. So you go to college, you live on the dormitory lifestyle, but you didn't do any community service. You didn't sit in functions like these that you can actually put on your resume for a summer job. A lot of times we graduate high school and we don't even know how to do a resume. We don't know that through 9th through 12th grade, we did a lot of community service work that we can put on our resume. And I don't look at it lightly. Here in the front of this room is my son, my middle child. His name is Isaac. He goes to Atlantic High School. We live here in Boynton Beach, so he has to wake up pretty early in the morning, and he does it diligently. He really loves ROTC. I mean, he dresses like it every single day. I'm like, you don't have to dress it, but that's what he does, right? But that's not to say that going to Boynton Beach High School is any less different. My neighbor runs the coaching department. Some of you might be going to Boynton Beach High, and he's an amazing person. The reason why I stand here before you all today is because my journey wasn't easy coming to where I am. But with aligning myself with peers, or maybe sitting at a different table, you learn something different. Already my son has met someone that loves music. I don't know if he's gonna play the bangles when we're done, but maybe he'll switch over, or the drums. But right now he does the piano. And YouTube is your greatest teacher. Sometimes we get a job and we might not be fully qualified. We might not know how to use Microsoft Excel, how to write an email, how to even put your signature on an email. But if you go to YouTube or Google and ask it, it will show you and give you so many different examples. But the great thing about my company is, if you don't know how to do something, you could text someone, you could call someone, you can video call someone, and we will help you, because we are all a team. And when you send that email, you're representing the entire company. So that is just a little speech about what I do as far as how I make my 9 to 5, because I have many passions. And I am Jamaican, so I got 5 jobs, man. And I call them all my passions, right? I love boating. I didn't think I would love boating as much as I do, but here's the story about boating. When I moved into Boynton Beach, I was a single mom with 2 kids. My oldest daughter is now 20. She did her first year at Howard, but now her second year is at FAU, because one, is cheaper, she's closer to home, and we're also going through a pandemic. So I don't think I'm doing so bad so far when it comes to parenting. But back to boating. I met my husband at the Backyard. It's a little hole in the wall restaurant down the street. He's a native of Boynton Beach. He's Black American mixed with Puerto Rican. I never really met his roots in Puerto Rico, but we ventured here once so far, and I love it, right? So he loves to dive. He loves free diving. Now, normally I'm Jamaican. I just want to eat the fish out of the sea. He's my opposite. He'll spearfish these fish, and he will not eat them, but we will give them away to our neighbors. At first, I think the Jamaican in me was, let's try to sell these fish that we don't shoot up. But nobody was buying the fish. So what was it better? To just text someone in my phone and say, hey, would you like some nice filleted fresh fish? Because my husband doesn't eat it, and that works. That is my love of boating. It's not really going out on the boat or enjoying the water so much, but just know that I might be bringing back something home, or I might have seen something, maybe dolphins, and they love it. I love it. My kids love it, even though they hate the sun. My next passion is my family. Now, unfortunately, I can't say the family like the grandparents and the granddad and the cousins. That wasn't my case. That wasn't my story. My story comes from a very different path. My next passion is housing. I don't know how about you, but housing is very, very important to me. When I came to this country, I learned about housing and the significance of having 4 walls and a roof. Many of us is in different situations. Maybe we're renting. Our parents are renting a home. Maybe our parents own a home. Maybe we're living with a cousin. Maybe someone was generous to take you in because a parent passed away. None of those fit my description of my road trip. So with that, since I know I have a little time, I kind of digress. But before I go in here, I've been picking on this young lady that have the Queen's leggings on. Before I talk my little 4-page, tell me, what is your passion and what's your name? What do you like to do? If someone had to pay you every day and you don't have to watch the clock, you just wake up every day and yes, I'm going to work. What's your passion? She wants to dance. And what's your name?
My name is Tasia.
Tasia. And I know Tasia has a friend at this desk. Right? So tell me, Tasia, what's your friend's name? Miss T, come on. What's your passion? Tell us. You gotta have something that you love to do. Did you know you could get paid for telling people how to sleep? Did you know that? Did you know that? But what's your passion? Drawing. That's amazing. How about you, young man?
My passion, I have a few now.
There you go.
It's mostly gaming and tech, coding. That's what my dad does for a living.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good dream. How about you? What's your passion? What kind of business do you want to start? Okay. Here's the point. As long as you all have a passion or several passions, don't let anyone tell you that you're spreading yourself thin. Don't let anyone tell you you're doing too much. Your body knows when to go to sleep. You know when you're tired. If it's something that you love to do, whether it's playing the piano until 2 o'clock in the morning or roller skating through the neighborhood, it's all right. Because all of those can be a career path. They say talent gets you in the door, but character keeps you in the room. So what happens if you doubt your own character? Did you know we think somewhere between 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts in one day? And 90% of those thoughts are exactly the same ones we had the day before. When you think from your past memories, you can only create past experiences. This boat chips away at your confidence and character. Instead, move on. Moving on doesn't mean completely forgetting the things from your past. It just means that you find a positive way of using them in your present. Whenever you find yourself doubting how far you can go, just remember how far you've come. Think of everything you have faced this year, all the exams you've taken, and all the fears that you've overcome. One day, each and every one of you will have to go out into the world, either by yourself or with the aid of family guidance. When you do, what will set you apart is following your passions, following your gut instincts. Having perspectives that's your passion will lead you to financial freedom and a fulfilling daily life, because you both make money and you also have a good time, right? Passion gives you confidence, the confidence that you need to face all the challenges that surround you. When you identify your passions, you should hone in on them. You should amplify your passions as your sounding board to everyone that you meet. Individuals that are around you should say, here comes Carrie. She's gonna talk about housing, yoga, free diving at the Boynton Beach Inlet. She'll probably try to give you a job. She'll probably tell you about the importance of financial literacy. These are my passions. Your passion should be like a spider web that will eventually be woven into your career path, that will evolve over time. Your passions are your natural activities that you enjoy daily. Like a well-meaning person, your passion is your why. Your passion always reinforces your whys as well. And your why is your truth of who you are. Without passions, you will see that with this negative world, with less motivation, with less determination without passion. But when you identify your passions, when you go around others, and when you're in a room filled with strangers and you're able to listen to the chatter in the room, you can identify your similarities within that room. You'll feel your confidence in your gut. Passion gives meaning to who you are and makes you stand tall in any environment. You will realize no matter what your career path is, with passion, you'll get even further. You will be more understood by all who's around you. At this moment, every student in this room is working on completing the last quarter of the school year. Is that correct? How you feel about that? How you feel about the last quarter?
Stressful.
Why is it stressful?
Because I have good grades, but I'm still struggling just a bit for the last 2 quarters.
You're struggling in the class or your peers?
Mostly peers.
Why is that? What do you wish you could tell your peers to make you have a good day?
Be more cooperative. That's definitely short, because I usually do most of the work.
You hear that? Be more cooperative. Be more understanding. Everyone is coming from something different that morning. Be a little bit more cooperative by this young man. Slide 2. And I think this goes perfect to what he says. Some of us have a mind full of thoughts, but we're trying to become mindful of our thoughts. Put them in categories. You don't have to attack everything at the same time. You get to it when you get to it. Do everything as you feel pleased. But remember the difference. Can anyone tell me or explain what they see on this photo? Young man, tell me what you see.
I've seen one person that has married, one person
Right. What do you see, Richard? Which one do you identify with most of the time? Raise your hands of how many people in this room feel like they have a lot going on a daily basis. But you know what I've learned? Only experiences and going through life. It's not gonna happen in 6th grade. It's not gonna happen in 7th grade. You need many experiences to humble you. It might not happen in 8th grade. It might not happen in 12th grade. All I'm saying is don't rush the process. Sometimes we try to rush the process to seem like we got it all together. I hope each one of you can find it where you can tell your partner or your friend or your best friend, today's a rough day. This morning I feel a little overwhelmed. Maybe I didn't study when I should have. Maybe I didn't look at Sis Gateway and notice that I had a missing homework. Maybe I didn't even realize that today is the last of the third quarter and there's things that I could have done to repair it. I see you back there. I told Queens I'm gonna pick on her today because her legging says Queens all over it. When I came to this country, that's where I went, Queens, New York. All right, we're gonna go to slide 2. So back to this. Try to always think forward, not saying once again to learn from the past too much, but look for the next positive moment in everyone's journey. I came to this country in the 6th grade. I was an islander, new to America, but I appreciate the fact that education was free. I was mindful in Jamaica, school was not free. School books is not free. Here in America, the library was a convenient place for me to read. And that was my passion. It was free and I could walk to the library and my mom would allow me. Probably had to come back in like 4 hours, but it was free. As the great Maya Angelou said, you can only become accomplished at something you love. You don't make money your goal. Because if you do what you love, the money will come. Instead, pursue the things that are your passion. You love doing and do them so well that people can't take your eyes off you as well. Because if someone sees you dancing that dance and you can get all those steps right, they'll watch your TikTok video over and over till they get it right. They might use that audio and do it there a little differently. An influencer might see you and DM you and ask you if you want a contract for $60,000 for each video that you post. That is the reality out there. I was sitting down eating breakfast with my daughter after Zumba class recently and I met one. The next day I looked at her Instagram. She certainly did pick up that new car she wanted. It's possible to make money from your passions. On this slide, this is what school looked like in Jamaica. I came here in 1995. You had to wear a uniform. You had to still stay in buildings with no AC unit. Are you Jamaican? Can you relate? There you go. So usually when we're heading to school in America, we're just thinking about the first day of school. But for most Jamaican kids in the 6th and 7th, 8th grade, we're wondering, did our mom order the school uniform? Because it's pretty expensive. Do we have the right shoes and the exact color socks that is required? And we're still walking to school by ourselves. We're still taking the school bus by ourselves. But for the most part, the journey is walking. So I am forever grateful that middle school and high school is free. And if you do right, college can also be for free. And if you think just right, a community college is not so bad. Did you know in 2019 to September 2020, 15,000 children in Palm Beach County lived in foster care? There's a saying by Anthony Lucian, everyone needs a house to live in, but a supportive family is what builds a home. Due to my family environment, my high school years was spent in a group home. My friends never knew this. This experience introduced me to embrace different culture, led me to realize how much I can motivate others in an unseemly bad situation. That we're all here in this group home in high school, and we have to make the best of it. While in the group home, I realized housing was important. I had the opportunity to go to Oaxaca, Mexico to build toilets for people who did not have toilets in the 9th grade. We never really did build toilets, and in Oaxaca, Mexico, it's called latrines. In Jamaica, it's called a pit toilet. Most of you grew up with plumbing in your household, right? In Jamaica, you have to light a newspaper and make sure the cockroaches don't come up. But that's everyone's experience is different. What makes us all unique. I also had a job. My first job was in the 9th grade, McDonald's. I've never stopped working since. I worked from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I always had breakfast. I always had lunch. I like the round eggs because I know that's truly real. But I've never stopped. I moved to Florida and completed my associate's degree in Palm Beach County at Palm Beach County Community College. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but as fate would have it, I started out as an insurance agent selling home insurance policy. In Florida, everyone knows the word hurricane. Does everyone know hurricane? Yeah? Does everyone knows when hurricane season starts? Kind of gave it away. Yep, till the end of November. Can you imagine if we have a hurricane this year and your roof is destroyed and your house is flooded? Do you know where you're gonna go? You're gonna go to the shelter, you're gonna go to the gym. This year, has any one of you had $20 in your pocket? Put your hands up. $5 in your pocket. If there was a hurricane right now, what would you do with that $5? You would donate it? You get some food? Some supplies, some water. What would you get? How would you make more money off that money? Wait. Let him talk, because he's going to make money. And that's what we want to do when we become adults, right? Tell me how you're going to make money.
Basically, just make money for stuff like high.
That's right. There's a young man that is in the 10th grade that made his first million the beginning of the pandemic. He went to Ross and he bought some dollar items. He went to Amazon and he upsold them. That same item that he sold for $1, he sold it for $25. If you're in a remote part of the country, getting a camera, getting a candle, getting something that you need on Amazon might be your only way because you don't want to drive into town. Max, you in the back. Are you aware of hurricanes? What do you think of when you think of hurricane? Do you know where you're gonna go if a hurricane destroys your structure that you live in? See, why am I talking about this so much? It's because it will happen. We will come into hurricane season. And even though we're all young adults in this room, housing is important. Where you're gonna sleep at night is important. How comfortable you're going to be is important. The next time you go to a thrift store, do you have a sleeping bag? How many of you guys in here have a sleeping bag? Thrift store sells them for about $2. So if you have less than $5, I think you're doing good right now, right? You got somewhere to sleep. So as I said, in Florida, everyone knows the word hurricane. Good morning to the folks in the back. Good morning. Understanding the devastation and impact caused by a hurricane is my why. It's not that the house that you lose, it's the contents within the house that you lose as well. And if you've ever been affected by a hurricane, you know exactly what I mean. Not having power for 2 hours, not having internet for an hour. Some days we don't even need a hurricane for that, and we'll lose power. It could be your neighbor up the street whose house burned down and the entire block loses power. My why for selling home insurance became my passion for speaking for first-time homebuyers class. Like I said, passion gives meaning to who you are and make you stand tall in any environment. You realize that no matter what your career path is, with passion you'll get even further. I'm sorry, number 6. So to speak about my career path, right? I started off as a homeowner's insurance agent. The average sales agent makes over 6 figures, or $100,000 the first year of work. After my 15 years of selling homeowners insurance policies, I transitioned to becoming a corporate recruiter nationwide. We offer homeowners insurance policies in 19 states, including Hawaii, which means I get to travel to all these states one by one. It's not so fun when you're grounded on an airplane. But with this kind of career, you don't have to worry about the rental car. You don't have to worry about the airfare. You don't have to worry about paying for your own food because the company covers all those expenses. The only thing that you have to worry about is speaking your truth and letting someone know that if IT is what you want to do, I can give you a path in IT. If you want to be a content writer and make videos, we'll give you a path for that, even in homeowners insurance, because everyone learns differently. It could be reading, looking at something visually. There's an opportunity at our company for just about everyone in this room. This transition enabled me to give back to my community, enabled me to be a part of several different housing committees within Boynton Beach, and most importantly, enjoy my passion for free diving and yoga. If you go to Boynton Beach Inlet about 6 o'clock in the morning, you'll see me doing yoga. If the water is calm, we might take the boat out and spearfish. As a corporate recruiter, I've traveled around the country and I look for students or anyone that is in need of a job, whether it's a customer service IT, a lawyer, or a field adjuster. And it feels good knowing that I'm offering jobs to individuals to see the greater good to address the needs of maintaining a home, or encouraging a person to purchase a home via speeches for first-time home buyers classes. There are days where work is tough, and it usually has to do when I hire someone and you get the letter with a start date and how much money you're going to make. But oftentimes, the background check doesn't always come back in a positive light because of our past experience. I go back 7 years on background checks, and depending on what's on your background, you might not get hired. It could be simple as petty theft at Macy's. It could be as simple as walking in the hallway with a pen with illegal substance in it. It could be any of those things. It could be the mercy of that judge who decides what to put on your record permanently. So when you think of the future, also think of the present, if that's not your case, and make sure that you don't have to have those experiences. You don't need to have the experiences talking to a cop explaining why you have a vape pen. You don't need the experience with a cop asking why you're doing truancy. Why are you in the back of the class at school? Why are you at Chick-fil-A and it's 10 o'clock in the morning? You don't need those experiences. You don't need to have charges put on your record because you're sitting in an abandoned house and y'all just hanging out playing music. You don't need those experiences. Think wisely, because that could mean that a great opportunity that's easy for you because someone that can identify with a black and brown gives you that opportunity because I know where you're coming from. Most of the background checks, unfortunately, the mass majority is from our inner city, it's from our black and browns. I'm not doing this to scare you. I'm doing this as a mother, so I don't have to go to a delinquent hall, or I don't have to go and pick you up from anywhere. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have that experience. I'd rather have the experience of telling you to stop playing piano at 2 o'clock in the morning and go to bed. Just go to bed. Can you go to bed? Don't be that person if possible. But if you follow your passions, which are usually positive activities, you'll be able to join our team or even move to another company and be great at what you do. These are my passions. At any given day, you'll see me walking the Boynton Beach Inlet, That's actually right in front of the pump house at the Boynton Beach. And I say the Boynton Beach Inlet, I don't really go to Lake Worth. Just go right over the bridge and I'm right there. Even though they're doing a lot of construction, that just shows that there's jobs within this community. That just shows that whatever you want to do is in this community. If you want to go around the neighborhood and pick up things and recycle them or break them down, that could be you. If you want to join my company and drive around a Ford Explorer all day and look at someone's roof because it's leaking and just input in the information saying Carrie had a kitchen leak and we need to pay her $60,000, then that could be your job. If you want to be the person behind the computer helping me reset my password or loading new programs on my computer, that can be your job. If you want to be that lawyer that want to advocate that this person really does need a new roof and we're going to pay for it, you can be that lawyer. You could be that content writer. There's all different positions. If you just want to be that person to answer the phone and tell someone how much their payment is due, give them a copy of their policy in an email, and just reassure them that they do have an active homeowners insurance policy, you can have that job. If you're a salesperson and you want to sell the policies and make commission on top of it, that can be your job too. So you're not limited by the money that you make. Think about your passions. I'm on 9 different community boards within the city of Boynton Beach. Habitat for Humanity, that helps rebuild homes. I've made my company also donate money to rebuild homes. I've joined Team Rubicon. That's if you decide to go in the military and you need a volunteer that's not in the military to show you what a tourniquet is and how to use a tourniquet. You can go to workshops and spend 6 hours like you're doing today and learn how to use a tourniquet. I'm also a Clio speaker for climate change. The most rewarding thing I've learned right now is Palm Beach County will give you free paint for your home if you need it. There's a paint system out there. You probably should think of getting white, because if you put white on your walls or on your rooftop, it will deflect the amount of bad things we're doing to the environment. With Habitat for Humanity, I'll go out there and I'll build a roof. I'll learn how to use a scaffolding. We'll sod the ground. All the homes that line the Carolyn Sims Center are Habitat home. That's also a way for you to get your volunteer hours. That's also a way for you to be able to peer with someone, get your hands dirty, and know how to use a nail. You know the plumbers these days, they make over $150,000 being a plumber? I had a pipe break in my home, and to be a plumber to come out and tell me how bad the pipe break is, $500 estimate. It's a dirty job, but it's a job that you can make your own hours and you can make the money that you want to make. There's many things you can do out there. You don't have to do what your parents says to do. You only have one life, this life. Maybe there's something after, but right now is what we know. This is the end of my presentation, and I hope that I was able to inspire you. I hope that I was able to relate with some of you. But most importantly, I hope that you guys can all become, and gals, become productive members of the society. Now, Coach Frank said, I have 3 to 5 questions per person. It's okay if you don't ask any, and it's okay if you ask some. Does anyone have questions? Anyone have questions about what's the best route to do a resume? How do you know what job you're gonna get when you get out of high school? Are you going to college after high school? Are you gonna go to college and work? Do you have somebody that's gonna give you a job that you know that can help you? Do you know how to properly interview at a job? Do you know what to say? Unfortunately, in the school system, we don't have financial literacy unless you go to a junior achievement program, or you have individuals around you that helps you, that tells you what a routing number and the checking account number is. That explain to you that just like how you like these cell phones, make sure when you get a bank account, you download the app. Make sure you know how to use these apps, because pretty soon, Tellers won't be in the bank. Chase is the first company that will be doing away with tellers in the bank. You will have to make an appointment to see someone, to speak to someone in the Chase banks. So IT is up and coming more than ever. So if your passion is gaming, look into some certifications for that. Look into how to get any kind of things that will make your passion seem even more better when you have to put it on paper, when you have to send your resume out. I want to show you a video in final. It's about just a minute of my true and last passion, I think, so far in my 30s. And we're gonna have Isaac play it if he's a good technician. I'm not too sure if the sound is going to play. So as all of you can see, I have dreads. Maybe some people in this room is not familiar with dreadlocks. But one of the reasons why I have dreadlocks is because for me it's inexpensive. For me, I can go to YouTube and I can learn how to do it. In the past, you had to get a certification to learn how to do dreadlocks. You had to have a license, you had to go to a class. And I would do people's hair for free. After a while, I realized I'm getting a little bit better. I can start charging. I can start making money from this passion. So just about every week, I make at least $500 to $1,000 extra doing dreads. Plus, I have a daytime job, right? So one is paying the bills and the other one is putting oil in the boat, right? Or one is allowing me to go back to Jamaica and just hang out, eat some cheaper food, enjoy the waters, or even going to Puerto Rico and enjoying the beautiful, lush land of Puerto Rico. But that's one of my passions. My son is in high school at Atlantic High School. He's in the 10th grade, IB, right? I tell him if he doesn't make it, he can go to Boynton Beach High. There's nothing wrong with that. My eldest daughter went to Dreyfus, and she went on to Howard, right? But now she's in FAU. That's not to say that I'm not proud of her being in FAU. I'm proud that she's in college, that she's choosing to stay in college. I'm thankful that also the system is allowing her to go to FAU for free. And she's able to do her other things, which is BTS. She loves going to any BTS concert. And it looks like my son is having some technical difficulties. After 10 years of doing hair, right, natural hair, I find myself being able to work for Broadway shows, doing wigs. If you ever had the opportunity to go to the Kravis Center in City Place, most of the folks that are on that stage, they're all wearing wigs. They're all wearing wigs. When they do the performance and you see someone come off the stage, they're changing out of that wig. They're oftentimes called dive in. They'll dive into the wig and you have to be there prepared for them to dive into the wig. For a job like that, you're getting paid $32 an hour. And if you only work half an hour, it's still an hour pay. They don't split it in half. That's a good side hustle. And the way the pandemic has worked, it has allowed the older generation maybe to calm down a little and give up their seat so you can have a seat at the table. And that's what's happening for us. Now I'm being called to shows every weekend, whether it's an opera, whether it's Anastasia, which I chose to do. And that's another thing with your passion. You choose your own time. You choose what you want to be associated with. And sometimes you'll choose and you'll choose wrong. But don't stop. All you need is one good experience. And for me, recently doing Anastasia, if you don't know the story of Anastasia, it's a Russian family who is trying to escape the war. And as history repeats itself, I always say, but sometimes it rhymes. Isaac, just give up on that. You're good. Right? Anastasia is predominantly Caucasian. It's Russian. But in this production, we have Black and we have Chinese, Asians in this play. And it made it feel even much better because I was at ease. So I got to transition from dreadlocks to wigs. I got to be on a Broadway show. I got to enjoy my time and always remember the experiences. after doing 12 shows in a row, I could probably remember most of the lines. But at the end, I also got a nice paycheck. And that's what matters. Doing something that you love and also making money from it. But don't make it be all about the money. Like I said, the money will come. Just follow your passions. Thank you so much.
Questions?
No questions. So, since there's no one have any questions, and Coach Frank says, any questions, I'm gonna ask a few questions. I'm gonna go around this room until Coach Frank says stop, Carrie. And I'm gonna ask everyone, what is their career choice? Or what do they think their career is going to be? Let's start with the front of the table. Tell me your name, what school you go to, and what you wanna do when you graduate high school. So it don't even have to be a career, you can just be going to college. How about you?
My name is Melissa, and I go to Congress Middle School, and I want to either be a finance manager or graphic design. Graphic design.
Okay. How about this table? Let's start from you, young lady. Mhm.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Listen.